Bridget. Is she any good? For the most part, Bridget is a struggler, but if you were watching this weekend's baccpabrawl and Jeekly, which you should always check out, might I add, we got to see two names that made this low tier character work, being 6 Macy and of course Satanbug on the baccpabrawl taking it. Not only that, in terms of a good Bridget stuff, we also did see Hotashi try to make a comeback with the Bridget when he was down 2. Went up 2-2, but unfortunately lost that set. And this begs the question, what is the point of today's video? The point of today's video is to mostly take a look at these Bridget runs and have a little bit of fun talking about what she's doing to try and do well within a tournament, because as we know, Bridget is not that good in terms of her toolkit, but she can work in the right hands. And I also want to use it as a talking point to mention how well balanced Strive is, that we've got people on lower tier characters still cooking. But I want to get into the run of Satanbug and talk about what she did to try and win with this character, and not only that, try and mention some positives about the run, like some of the key details. But thank you for liking up the last video for on camera. I think we got over 200 likes, so thank you very much in that. There will be turtle pictures, do not worry. But if you guys enjoy this one, let's try to get over 100 likes, and again, I'll post more turtle pictures. It's greatly appreciated, but let's get into it. Let's talk about that run. Interesting thing about Satanbug's run is that she had to come from loser's side, and I don't mean by like loser side top 5, top 4, loser's side like top 16. She got knocked out pretty early, and when she got into top 8, she had to fight Clockwork Design on the Zato, and this was a tricky matchup for Bridget as it's very difficult to get by a pose in a lot of the flight stuff. But one thing that really stood out in this matchup is how well Satanbug really confirmed a lot of her hits, really looking for these small opportunities to turn one big hit into a looping Oki scenario into a lot of damage. Bridget isn't really a damage dumper, so finding your scenarios to dump the damage on this character is how you're meant to play her in the current meta, and Satanbug kinda just did that. And not afraid to defend against that a lot of times, just willing to down back a lot of time and look for fuzzy jumps out the corner, and we really showed that Satanbug's defense was clean and the hit confirms were clean. The other thing to mention is that this is a slightly better matchup for Bridget, just due to the fact that she has good tools to kill Eddie. A lot of her tools are very easy to hit confirm into, and she doesn't have to worry about a wake up option that will ruin her run, you know, like a wake up pop buster, a wake up DP, wake up super, you know, that type of thing. Zato doesn't have that in defense, so she doesn't need to worry about this "I'm gonna kill you" move on wake up, as Bridget's a very low HP character. Able to knock out Clockwork Design, that was the first step of her run, and she went on to the next step of her run, fighting Chompy Chest, the Bedman. Bedman is a character that does have a little bit of troubles against Bridget, not a lot. It can keep her at bay, but for the most part can't do a lot of these shooty setups that Bedman wants to do. And in this matchup, the thing that really stood out again was the defense. What Satanbug realized is a lot of stuff that Bedman wants to do is either not disjointed or leaves gaps, and because of that, she wasn't afraid to let DP rip. I think for the most part, she used it like a good chunk, like 8 times, and it was successful 6 times. It was one of those matchups where representing DP really did work wonders, like getting out of a corner, getting out of a scenario, and the thing about Bridget's DP, it's not good, it's punishable on hit, so using this well was a key factor of beating Bedman. It went down to the wire again. Chompy Chest really put on some good efforts, but in the end, off of some nice hit confirms yet again, my god, able to roll that Oki into some nice hits, Satanbug was able to take another set. And then the next set was up against Gecko's Dizzy, which I'm pretty sure is a decent matchup for Dizzy, just due to having disjointed buttons, good zoning tools, and of course does way more damage than Bridget. And Gecko's Dizzy was kind of the fan favourite alongside Satanbug for this tournament, so it was a weird one. It's like, who do you pick between these two for who you want to win? But in the end, we saw some really good hit confirms. Looping Oki just went crazy on the high-low stuff. And it was quite cheeky to some of the stuff that Satanbug was getting away with. It was like they were understanding the mental stack to represent a lot of the high-lows, and was able to do some nice hit confirms again. I think it came down to mostly hit confirms and looping Oki that allowed Satanbug to do as well as she did, without a doubt. And this is what Bridget's known for, so you know, this is really just me going like, oh yes, the colour blue is indeed blue, but like, it was insane to watch in the moment. Like, if you were watching it alongside us, it was a hell of a comeback. It's a shame the commentary just wasn't good that baccpabrawl, right? I liked the Yap sessions, I thought the Yap sessions were fun. However, in terms of actually hyping up players, it was not that good. But I went down to the wire, and again, it was beautifully done. Beautifully done by Satanbug to head into losers finals, where she'd have to fight Nell. And this was against Slayer, and Slayer's another peculiar one. Why? Because DP is a good option, but if you're wrong once with that DP, you die. That's the nature of the matchup. But for the most part, this was another good matchup for Bridget, where she kind of outpokes Slayer for the most part and makes it difficult for Slayer to do the things that he wants. Comes with the caveat of don't get hit and you die. Like that's literally the matchup when you go against the Slayers and Bridget. It's like, do not get hit or I die. That is it. That is simply the maths there. You know, 2 plus 2 really equal 4. But it was really good. A lot of the key things about that matchup was using Yo-Yo to keep him at bay and then poking away and turning those pokes into good confirms with meter. That was the main goal throughout that set. And the defense was pretty immaculate. Wanted to block up on a lot of things, but you know, there were some counter hits that were like, oh god. Oh goody god, do not get hit by Slayer. It was really fun to see what Satanbug was trying to do, like try and make Bridget work. And there were some scenarios where she did aerial projectile, which the projectiles are negative on block by a good chunk. However, in air block, it makes it a bit of a weird RPS scenario, and because of that, she was able to take a couple of hits off it. Knocking Nelv out of the bracket, she was able to take it and head into grand finals to fight Sir Kappa, who's won like 3 or 4 baccpabrals in a row. He's kind of like the Nagoriyuki right now of our bracket. And watching the way Sir Kappa played, he popped a lot. He really did. He went into this matchup going like, Bridget can poke into me well, but that's about it, right? She's going to play the poking game a whole lot better than me. And like, that's one of the strengths of Bridget. She has a decent game plan. It's just, you're tied to one of the squishiest characters in the game. And some of your mix is kind of fake as hell because Roulette isn't that good. And a lot of your Oki isn't on the same level as it used to be. But going against Kappa, there was a lot of blood popping. I think he just got super aggressive, thinking like, oh, if I get a hit, Bridget dies. And even at that, I don't care how much damage she does to me, because I can tank that. I'm playing Nago. And because of that, the blood popping strategies didn't really work out, and he got punished a lot for it. And I mean a lot. It led to a grand finals reset. And Satanbug did what Satanbug could do, like best, just absolutely cashing out on all these blood pops and turning it into either looping Oki for the kill or doing one nasty combo for the rest of it. And with the grand finals reset happening, it was a clean 3-1 victory for Satanbug, and that was her first time winning a baccpabrawl. After taking part in so many of them, her best placement was 2nd place. Now it was 1st. And it was a hell of a story to see, because Satanbug has been taking part in baccpabrawl for a really long time. I just wish that me and Backpack really put in a bit more effort into that commentary, because we were goofing, we were gaffing, which that's the nature of the baccpabrawl, that's just how we are. But like watching it, I'm like, wow, this should have had way better commentary. It really should have. Like if somebody was to clip this to mention Satanbug's run, they have to say, ignore the comms. And that would upset me. But what this came down to is that there was a lot of matchups that where Bridget kind of does okay into, but the thing that stood out was the fantastic poking, using DP well, and of course the hit confirms into the looping Oki. Really did a fantastic job at utilizing Bridget's strengths. Don't get me wrong, her weaknesses did show, like DP being punishable on hit. But besides that, it was good for the most part, it really was. And looking at the Jeekly, you had 6 Macy taking 3rd place. The Jeekly is another stacked bracket that takes part on every Friday, same day as the baccpabrawl. How dare they? And you know, she also got top 3, but you know, you had to fight a Potemkin, so like fair enough. And then you had to fight another fantastic player, Lasagna Slayer and Ergo Lewis, which that's another fair enough matchup. Like, those are 2 matchups where you play as Bridget and go like, oh yeah, I die here. Like, that's it. Who can blame you? And with that weekend out of the way, it was a fantastic showing that shows you, the spectator, that even a low tier character can compete in this season. Even if you aren't against the top dogs, if your character is able to make a top 8, that's a good thing. It's a good thing that low tiers like, you know, Bridget, Testament, you name it. Besides ABBA, we still see a top 8 placement from ABBA. That is how bad it is, right? It's good to see these characters do well. It really is, because it shows that in a type of state that we're in, where the top tiers are absolutely insane, you can still cook with the bottom tiers. Like, it'll take more effort, but if you're really sticking to your character, you're a character specialist, it's doable. And that's great to see. I'm happy when character specialists are able to put on the work they deserve. Even top tier Potemkin, I'm always happy to see our pop player do well, because in the end, it isn't people swapping to Potemkin that are doing well, it's the people that have always been playing them, the specialists. And that's why I'm happy to see the Bridget mains doing exactly that, because there's not many people playing her. And whenever I see someone play her, I'm like, that someone's been playing her for years. Another reason why I think this is a good thing to see, because as a spectator, it makes the top 8 a bit more diverse. You're not seeing the same characters. Even though CEO was pretty samey for the most part, a Dizzy won it. I think it's a good thing. It shocks you. You're not ready for who's going to be in a top 8. Let's be real. Looking at that CEO, were you expecting Paluna to do as well as she did? Don't get me wrong. That was who I was betting my money on. That's who I'm supporting. But were you expecting her to win that? The answer is more than likely no, you weren't. And I think that is such a good thing that we live in this balance where low tier characters can cook or even mid tier characters can win big offline tournaments. It makes it exciting as a spectator because you don't know who's going to win now. You really don't. Like looking at a lot of those names, you're looking at that go like, oh, you know, Umisho's going to win that. Oh, Red I'm Not's going to win that. No, it was Paluna that won it. And that's what makes it so cool to see. And again, it's fun to see a fun and diverse lineup for your top 8s because, you know, last year was big body season and the year before that it was set play season. You know, that was it. Whereas now I look at a top 8 and go like, damn, anyone could be in it. It could be all Enos. Hell, there was 2 Enos as CEO. And I don't even think she's that meta insane right now. Get my point. I feel like Bridget doing well in this type of online environment where it's kind of difficult to compete. You're going against a multi-time winner. You have nothing but respect for them, right? Like, she worked very hard to get that top 8 and then win it. I think it's absolutely deserved. But that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like, hype, and sub. Let's get over 100 likes. And be sure to tell me what you think about this season. Do you think it's well balanced? Because I do. I really do. Besides Abba the Sufferer, this is a good patch in my mind. I really stand by that. Is it a bit boring at times? A wee bit, yeah, but I think it's a good patch. I'll stand by that forever. And that's everything I've got to say. I've got to commentate run this set, which is going to be a hype tournament taking part tonight on Marvel Tokan, and I'll catch you guys there. See ya.